To manually play back scenes that you've recorded, press the Scene button, then use the up-down arrow buttons to select the page that contains the scenes that you wish to play back. You can then use the number switches to trigger your scenes. You can also preview a scene before it's actually selected by pressing the Preview button, then selecting a scene. In the display, it tells us that the scene we're previewing is the aqua scene. If that's the scene that you want to play back, you can press Go. If it's a different scene that you wanted, and say it was the red dots, for example, that you wanted, you can then press Go at that time for the scene to take precedence. This is where naming your scenes becomes very important. Once again, we'll preview. This is our orange scene, pressing Go for it to play back. You can also manually adjust the fade time for the previewed scene by adjusting data wheel 3. For example, if I want to preview scene 6, which incorporates 0 fade time, I can adjust the data wheel to read 2 seconds of fade time, then press Go, in which case when the scene is called up, it now incorporates a 2-second fade time. Another way to play back scenes is by using the Masters button. This now allows us to use the 8-channel faders as scene masters. Using the Bank button, we can control scenes 1 through 8 when the top LED is lit. We'll control scenes 9 through 16 when the second LED is lit. Scenes 17 through 24 when the third LED is lit. And scenes 25 through 32 when the fourth LED is lit. I'll bank up to 1 as we only have 7 scenes programmed. As I raise the fader, you'll notice that the scene is being played back in real time. Once I reach the top, the scene will be at its programmed location. Calling up a new scene and bringing down the previous will bring in the new scene and deactivate the previous one. Up to 8 scenes can run simultaneously in this manner. To get to a different page of scenes, use the up-down page buttons. To adjust a factory chase offset, press the Fixture button, then select the fixtures that you wish to include into your factory chase. Open the shutter and dimmer for your fixtures so that you can view the beam. Next, press the Chase button. If you're not already on the factory chase page, use the up-down arrow buttons to get to page FC. We can then use any of the 48 number buttons to select a factory chase. Remembering that we've selected button number 33, we'll now adjust the offset for this factory chase by pressing the menu button, then using the data wheel to get to our Adjust Factory Chases option. Press Enter when you're there. We'll now adjust data wheel 1 to get to chase 33. We can then use data wheel 2 and 3 to adjust our pan. As you can see, the offset is moving as the circle continues to run. This allows us to move the factory chase to an exact location where you need your factory chase to run. Data wheel 3 will adjust our tilt offset. As you can see, as I'm adjusting it, the chase is moving upward. This allows us to set our exact offset and then save this as a scene. To do this, press the record button, followed by the scene button. You can now name your scene and add a fade time for the scene by using data wheel 1 and 3. I'll name the scene using my external keyboard. I'll call this the circle scene, and I'll adjust it to 0 fade time. I'll then store the scene on one of the 48 number switches. And that scene has then been recorded. I'll call up another scene and go back to that scene to show you that all settings were stored under that scene number. A show is a sequence or list of up to 255 scenes that are pre-recorded and played back in order at pre-programmed times or played back manually by pressing the go switch for each scene. Show Designer 2 lets you record up to 24 pages of 48 shows for a total of 1,152 shows. Before recording a show, you must first record the scenes that will be included in the show. To record a show, press the record button, followed by the show button. Both LEDs should be flashing at this time. Your LCD should display step time, your scene start time, the scene hold time, and the loop status. Step 0 is for a delay time. We would adjust wheel number 3 under the hold setting if we wish to add a delay. As I want my show to start instantaneously, I won't add a delay and advance to step 1. It now tells us that the scene is currently empty and the default hold time is 5 seconds. To select our first scene, we'll press the scene button. Then use the up-down page keys to select the page that contains the scenes that we wish to incorporate into our show. I'll then select one of the number buttons to select a scene. We can then adjust the hold time for our first scene by using data wheel 3. I'll set it to hold for 7 seconds. To store this step, press enter. Our show step will advance by 1.